Hi everyone. Thanks for joining us again at In the Know. We're catching up with some of your favorite celebs, reality TV stars, and more direct from their homes. I'm your host, Gibson Johns, and today we're joined by Morgan Stewart, host of Nightly Pop and Necessary Realness on E! Morgan and I chatted about what it's like continuing to film her shows during quarantine, how she's giving back through her Morgan Stewart sport brand, her evolution from reality star on Rich Kids of Beverly Hills to bona fide TV host, and how she's gained more confidence as E! News' arguably most outspoken personality ever. Keep listening for my full interview with Morgan. Hi, Morgan Stewart. How are you?
Hi, what's going on?
You know, I'm holding up. How are you doing during the quarantine?
Have you showered today?
I've been working out after work, so I'm showering in the evenings.
How are you feeling about that? Because it's very challenging. I feel like if I don't work out in the morning, it's kind of like the day is over for me.
Yeah, in my normal life, I work out in the morning, but something about being at home, I just can't get myself up early enough to do it before work.
Good for you. Good for you. I wish I was like that, but I'm getting to sleep in a lot more now because I'm not having to be at the studio. So I'm really enjoying that time that both of my eyes get to open at the same time. But if it's still a stretch for me, but if I can, I try to do it in the morning.
Got it. What have your workouts been?
I've been doing a lot of sort of just like online stuff. Like I've been doing a lot of Melissa Wood Health. I have a Pilates instructor that I work with that she does. She has an app that I've been using and doing privates with her. So just like a lot of like floor mat yoga, Pilates combos.
And is that working for you? Because, I've been trying to change it up enough because I'm not used to, obviously none of us are used to this, but it's being on a mat the whole time is tough for me sometimes.
You know what? It's working. I feel good about it. I'm not somebody that works out super hard anyway. It's more about just being careful of the food, alcohol intake. Just I feel like there's always like some sort of sweet around. And I'm like, that needs to stop now.
Yeah. The baking is out of control these days, I think, for everyone's houses.
I've become like a pie chef. It's out of control.
So you've been working out, and I know that Nightly Pop is now back. Talk to me about sort of your daily routine and what you've been up to recently.
First of all, it's just kind of getting the shows back on air has been the number one priority. So like testing all of the different sort of avenues that you can do that. So we've been StreamYarding, we've been Skyping, we've been professional cameraing. Like there's been so many different forms and methods of us. So it's been a lot of tests every single day. It's been a lot of shooting full episodes. I've been doing, it's just kind of like I'm in front of this computer screen all day long. Like I thought my phone was bad, but now this has really become like a second, third edition. And I'm texting on it. I have a work computer. I have a personal computer. I have an iPad. I have a mic.
You're really pulling out all the stops.
I'm Howard Stern. I have so many different formats that are happening.
I mean, I will say I'm jealous of the multiple screens because I don't have an extra screen now, but I'm so used to that at work normally.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's really good. You need to get an iPad.
I have one, but it's not like, I don't know. I need to work on my setup. Clearly you have a lot going on though.
Oh, if I could flip out my computer, I would show you. There's a ring light. There's 2 lights on the side. It's like a whole thing.
Amazing. You've been engaging with your fans in a pretty fun way. You've been going on live on Instagram. What's sort of that conversation been like? Because it seems like you're kind of having fun with it.
So it's funny because I've gotten a lot of positive feedback with Morgan in quarantine. I think I was starting out really strong because I'm somebody that posts, I'm not like the most engaged with the people that follow me, even though I try to be. But usually when I go to work every day and I'm filming all this stuff, I don't want to go on Instagram Live. I'm exhausted. You know what I mean? I know that's probably not like the right thing to say, but it's the truth. And I don't want to bore people with my lackluster lives. Like I'm sure on your Instagram, there's like 15 lives going on at the same time.
Always.
And you're like, why the do you think we care about what you're talking about? Like we don't. So I don't want to be one of those people. So I've been very seldom with my going live. It's only happened like twice. But it's been very enjoyable. I've been trying to do more stories. I've just been keeping people posted, but I'm not a big selfie video person on story.
No, but I think that, I know you played a drinking game on one of the lives. I saw a clip kind of going around from that. And I think I don't know, you're clearly having fun with it. And I like to see it.
And I'm really embracing my quarantine fashion. I have to say the one good thing that I think has kept me really sane throughout this is because obviously we do the show in the studio. I get glam every single day, but have to be in front of a camera, but putting yourself together for that, I think has mentally kept me in check a little bit more. I mean, obviously I'm doing my own glam, which I've is pretty simple, but I've gotten better at doing it again because when we were working, I didn't have to. So it was like I'd be full glam Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends I would wear like no makeup. So that's sort of like my like laid back quarantine style. I've been like buying different things than I normally would. So I've actually had a lot of fun with it. But today I have to be honest, I'm having a little bit more of that like irritability with like for no reason. Are you getting that? Like I'm just like
oh, it's like some days I'm so open to people contacting me and messaging me and answering whatever. But then there's some days where I don't even want somebody to say hi to me. It's like, I don't know. I usually live alone. I'm now with my family, and I think I'm just used to that. I'm used to having more alone time, which is weird to say now, but I'm kind of cooped up.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. And that's the hardest part for me actually about this, not to make this whole interview completely depressing. It's been just sort of that unexplainable irritability that overtakes you without even understanding why or realizing what it is. Because I really don't have anything to complain about. Like I'm at the beach, I have lunch and dinner, I get to have as much alcohol. Like I have zero world problems.
It's all good with you, right? Yeah.
It's all good. And I'm so grateful for that and so appreciative of that. But then if somebody like wants to talk to me or comes near me for something when I'm not in the mood, I'm like, but then you're like, you feel bad because you're like, you've done absolutely nothing wrong.
It's about the space that you're in, though. And if you're not welcome to that kind of contact, then you just kind of have to let it be known.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. And then also like you can't go run errands.
Right. Yeah, you can't bust out of wherever you are, which is the biggest difference, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I know that I would like to talk about, because I know Morgan Stewart Sport, you donated a bunch of masks. I know that you're selling masks as well. Talk to me about that initiative and sort of what was there a moment that sparked you to want to take action?
I'm somebody that always kind of wants to be involved and on the forefront of these things and take action in a way that's helpful. But I always am so kind of busy with other things that I always feel a little bit overwhelmed and want to make sure whatever impact I'm trying to make is going to actually help people. And I was kind of tossing around the ideas with the team for Morgan Stewart Sport, and they had surgical masks in the factory already because when the workers are making the leggings and the whatever, the bras and stuff, they have to wear them. And it was just this perfect organic moment that just came together. Everybody just sort of breathed this sigh of relief. I was so happy to be able to help in that capacity. And so we got in touch with UCLA and we were able to drop off 7,500 masks, which I was so happy about. And then to further, that was really one of those moments where I was like, wow, you can really make a difference and help some people. And it just sort of worked out. And I was really happy to be able to do that. And then with the buy one, so basically now we have like a buy one, donate one. So we partnered up with United Way because I didn't want to just continuously donate the masks to the same place, because obviously there's so many different companies, people, and whatever walks of life that need different things. So we partnered with United Way, which really focuses on, underprivileged people and people who are homeless. And so you buy one mask on LA Collective, Morgan Stewart Sport, and then we donate another mask with the one that you bought. So
that's amazing. And that's just, that just shows you, it's just like, if you have those resources to just slightly tweak whatever you're doing, whether it's like, I'm assuming some of it's even just like leftover material that you guys can be utilizing.
That's the thing. And that's why, I feel very grateful to be able to kind of help in the way that we have, because I have to say it's been an effort, but it has also been pretty effortless at the same time. Like we had materials, we were able to put something together. United Way seemed like the second, aside from UCLA, the right choice to go in with the donate program. So I was really happy about that. It's just really been amazing. I mean, we sold, I think, like 1,700 masks in the first 4 hours of it being live.
Insane.
So it's just kind of like, and they do not stop. And I think it's such a short resource right now that like people are trying to get their hands on it. So I was thrilled.
And it's not about this, obviously, this isn't about you. It's about other people and how you helping other people. But I'm curious, like, have people been just like expressing their gratitude to you at all? And what's the response been like?
It's been pretty overwhelming. I mean, I think being in a position of influence and being somebody that's sort of on television or an influencer, you build that slowly. And then all of a sudden you're at a point where people care about what you do. And there's no kind of guidebook or rule book or you're not supposed to always know the right thing to do. And I've seen there's been a lot of nastiness online towards fellow influencers, because I feel like I'm television personality mixed with influencer. For sure. And I think there's been a lot of hate, a lot of nastiness, a lot of unintentional missteps that some people have done, and people have just been torn down for it. And I'm like, guys, this is just not the time to do that. So I feel grateful that I was able to kind of strike while the iron's hot, and people have been so heartwarming. And I think genuinely really appreciative, and it's been really nice and sort of awoken me to a place where it's like, yeah, you can be doing this consistently in all sorts of different ways in your life.
Good. And, you're giving back in this way. And to me, I mean, this is why we're doing some of these interviews, is that I think people are also just looking for escapism right now. I think they're looking for, there's so much heaviness around, and there's so many serious things happening, and which people need to be paying attention to that. But I think that the everyday person also they want their celebrity news. They want to, I want to watch my Real Housewives. I want to watch all this stuff that just takes my mind off things. Have you found that nightly pop is sort of filling that role at all for people?
Yes, 100%. I mean, at the end of the day, like my mom called me after the first episode aired, and she's like, were you not washing your hair? I'm like, Mom, I have roots. I don't know what you want me to do. It's not dirty. I just have roots. But just sort of like a nightly pop, that is the number one goal for just complete escapism, to be able to laugh. We don't need to be reminded about what's going on every single second of the day. Everybody knows. Nobody has forgotten. Everybody has moments of the day where they're happy, just like we were talking about, or they're upset. Nightly pop is just supposed to provide a little bit of release, a little bit of escapism, just some humor, and just like laugh about the kind of dumb shit we're going to talk about.
Totally.
And like, getting dressed and exerting that same energy that we would in the studio into our sort of webcam versions of it. Because I have to be honest with you, I've seen a lot of things that are being recorded from home, some major shows, and I'm not escaping. I'm disappointed with like the quality and the lack of enthusiasm, and sort of like when you kind of break down everyone's set and glitz and glamour, you're left really with that person. Even with nightly pop, for me, I read such heavy prompter when I do it, and then I kind of ad-lib my own personality.
Right.
Here I have an iPad with a script, but I can't keep looking at the script and looking back. So I've really had to sort of rely on my own pizzazz, if you will. And it's been a confidence booster, because the people that I think should be way ahead of me, I'm like, I'm not that impressed with what you're throwing out there.
No, I completely agree with you. There's a wide range of what's being put out there right now. And I mean, I was going to ask this later, which was like, I've been watching E! Now for probably 15, 20 years, and you have really solidified yourself as one of the most opinionated and outspoken personalities that the network has probably ever seen. You aren't afraid to go there and say what kind of cut through the bullshit, if you will. Do you feel like that? I mean, clearly you're kind of getting to that point where you have this confidence, and you're
totally. I definitely think in the last year and a half, I've gotten way more confident. I feel like when I started Daily Pop, I didn't say one word. I mean, it really has been an evolution. I think when you're somebody who is on television every day is a lesson, and you grow more and more. And I think there's always sort of maintaining, you want to cut through the bullshit, but you also can't cut through hard to the bullshit, because I'm somebody where my emotions are very fleeting. So I'll really care about something in the moment, and I'll say something, and then 2 hours later I'll be like, well, do I really feel that way? So it's about finding that balance of being able to express what you want by being real, but also making sure it's what you really mean versus shock value. And also balancing the different sort of personas I have on like doing daily pop versus doing nightly pop. Like those are two different versions of who I am. Mm-hmm. So every day is a consistent evolution of like staying who I am.
But then also necessary realness is also a different version of you, like that's probably like the most
me.
Yeah.
Like necessary realness is sort of the most me, because it's the most casual. And I think the personality traits that I don't think people get to see about me is I respond to a lot of people on my shows, but my sort of funniest, most off the cuff, most endearing moments are with people that like during my interviews with people or conversations with people in the office. Like that's truly to the core about like who I am. So necessary realness allows me to just sort of lean into that and speak to like an imaginary person. And I think that's when you get the most authentic me. So I love that show.
I totally agree. And I'm curious, like, because you do put yourself out there and you do share your true opinions and you stand behind them. Have they ever gotten you in trouble? Have you ever had awkward run-ins?
I for whatever reason, I have to say, because I was even going back to like talking about sort of the influencers that have kind of been chastised and really come for. I feel like for whatever reason, knock on wood, people I think give me a little bit more of a free pass. And I'm exuding and showing, I'm showing privilege. I'm showing a lot of the things that people are sort of like getting called out for right now. And for some reason, people don't turn on me because of that. So I've gotten very lucky. Of course, I like had some Justin Bieber moment where he got very upset with me.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, whatever. But like, that's really I haven't had people really come for something I've said or done.
Well, maybe that's because you've been on both sides of it. You know, you were on Rich Kids of Beverly Hills as a reality star. Those are some of the people that you talk about now, and I think you kind of understand both experiences, which is pretty unique.
That is really true. I actually, and it's funny because I forget about that sometimes because I'm so ingrained in like doing these shows now, and it's been such a big part of my like adult life that when I think about the show, I mean, even I've gotten like 500 DMs about Rich Kids. First of all, since Rich Kids went off the air, I've gotten a message about it every single day. There's not been one day where
people love that show.
When is Rich Kids coming back? How do I watch Rich Kids? I'm like, you're going to have to ask somebody that knows the answer. I don't know how you watch it. But people even just starting the season over again from start to finish during quarantine has been crazy. But I think to your point, that's what it is. It's more like I have been a reality star, and then I also am now like a solidified television host.
Right, exactly.
I think.
I will say you 100% are.
Thank you.
Before we wrap it up, I'm curious what, obviously right now, a lot of what we're talking about is related to the quarantine and the pandemic, but what's a celebrity story right now that you're kind of passionate about, or what's a couple that you have a lot of opinions about right now?
God, we did like a little daily pop thing earlier. I feel like as much as I'm talking about them, first of all, I'm having a complete love affair with Kim Kardashian. I know that seems like an easy answer, but her sort of relatability lately and her getting just crucified by North in her videos.
It's iconic.
It is so iconic and it's just so not staged. It's so organic. I've really just kind of turned a page into loving her. Give me some examples. I don't really know.
I mean, the ones that I feel like I see photos of them every single day are Ben Affleck and Ana de Armas. I'm just like,
here's my thing. And I said this unnecessary realness. So if people that are watching this also watch that, I'm sorry, I'm saying it twice. It always creeps me out a little bit when an A-list actor is doing D-list PR. Like, why do you need so much press right now for this relationship?
I don't know. I don't know if it's damage control or I don't really know what it is, but I saw a video of like what the paparazzi situation actually is with them, where it's just like they're 5 feet away from them when they're walking their dogs or whatever it is. And it's just like, do we really need this right now?
We don't really need it. And also like, what is I mean, I feel like the damage for Ben, I mean, he's had his ups and downs. He's been good.
Yeah.
Like you're walking your dog every day with your girlfriend.
Who knows? It's beyond me, and I'm just like disinterested.
Yeah, that's the problem. When you throw it down people's throats too much, if it's not organic, it backfires. So yeah, that for me is a little bit of a weird one.
Okay, I'm glad we're in agreement there.
Yes, 100%.
Well, Morgan, I think that's all the time we have, but thank you so much for checking in. It was fun. It was fun to catch up with you.
I'm so happy. Thank you so much. We'll do this an ASAP in person, hopefully.
Perfect. All right.
Oh, bye.
Bye. For more stories from In the Know, go to intheknow.com. You can also follow In the Know on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and find me, Gibson Johns, on Instagram and Twitter at Gibsonoma. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.